Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Thriftin. We're going to head to this random flea market. I've been to it before, but I've only been on the inside. Apparently Saturdays they have a whole bunch of vendors outside. We're going to do that. I'm going to hit a couple other spots on the way to that flea market and see what we can find. So let's do it. Alright, here we are at a Goodwill that I've only been to a couple times. So let's hope they've got some cool stuff. Alright, so we've got a whole bunch of books. And we'll be taking a look. That's cool. Got some movies over here. It's a mess. Naked Barbies. Over the Hedge on PS2. I'm sure this is a great game. I don't have too good a feeling. Boomerang. It's a decent set there. Punch. The Next Karate Kid. Is that the one with Hilary Swank? Yeah. I don't think that's really fetching anything. Strange Brew. Conjure Biomes. Oh, they're specific. Kind of cool. Aquatic Biomes. Sledgehammer Season 1. I don't know if this goes for anything. I have it. I've heard it's a good show, actually. Yeah, it looks like it's missing a disc. It sure is. Damn. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's not a disc. That sucks. Not looking too hot. Not looking too hot. The truth behind hip-hop. Idolatry. Violence. Ex-ministries. Hip-hop is evil. Video games are evil. Because we can't look inside and see the evil in ourselves, so we call everything else evil. Wow. Really not seeing anything here. I'm gonna see if this is fetching anything, and yeah, head on to the next one. Alright guys, a couple unintended stops here. I saw a sign for Big Lots and Books A Million. I've only been in one Books A Million and was very disappointed with it. Just a million books, all overpriced. No movies, nothing like that. But let's see if Big Lots has anything exciting. There they are. Oh yeah. We've got a bunch. That they usually do. I think I have that one. I think I have Silk. I'll have to double check. Legend of the Dragon. Alright. Yeah, I got this set last time actually. Now open. Weird. I'm looking for a copy of this. Let's see if they can give it to me cheaper since it's open. Never hurts to ask about things like that. It's all about tact, folks. This has guns and zombies. Oh my god. That's probably pretty fun. Same, you know, everybody gets them from the same place, whatever that might be. Let's look at some of the blu-rays here. I've only ever caught them with clearance movies one time before. That was really because somebody let me know. Kill Feeding Alone. Dean King flick. Charlotte's Web on Blu-ray. If it was cheap, I'd probably buy it. Recently came into my job. Purge. I was tempted to pick it up. It's like the last John. I think John Hughes produced it or did something with it. Oh my god. They have a lot to look through. I gotta buy something. I've got a small stack going. Well, I don't have to buy something. At least one or two of those that I stacked up. I'm gonna grab Born to Raise Hell. Hoosier. And there's a clearance one. $2.50. I Love Lucy. That's kind of cool. And a bunch of the seasons for $5. If I wasn't so damn cheap, I'd pick them up. Much of a variety here. ABCs of Death, I'm pretty sure I have. Django movie. Wow. I Love Lucy on Blu-ray. I might have to buy that. And it's the first season, so I wish they had a cheaper copy of Kingpin. Constrain myself to spending $10. Or restrain myself. Constrain, yeah, both work actually. Shoot up more brothers. Wish these were a little cheaper. Spotted Primal Fear. I've got a stack here. I'm only going to take a few of them, but Primal Fear is one that I still need on Blu-ray. Where's the nation? I get mixed up with all these titles. show film here. Again, that is open. I'm not going to spend $5 for an open DVD. I'll ask him if it's like discounted or anything. I just think it's a little funny to find like used DVDs in here, at least opened ones. And in my book, that is used. If it's open, it's used. But yeah, let's see. All right, so that was the big lots. I ended up buying 4 things, and you'll have to wait till the end of the video to find out what those 4 things were. Couldn't take everything because not everything was within my price range. But we're gonna check out Books A Million and hope that they have some movies. Let us see. Wow. I mean, it's a pretty nice looking place. It reminds me of 2nd and Charles. But I don't think they have movies. I think it's just books. And I work at a bookstore, so I see enough of those every day. Let's do a stroll. Totes upon totes. God, I wish this place had movies. Got the manga here. Nice. Got like some action figures. Man, you'd think they'd have. Ooh. Berserk. These have been hard to find. Nobody has volume 1 right now. Yeah, like a toy aisle. I mean, come on. Harry Potter. Fiction. Horror. Ooh, there's number 1. Not spending full price for it, though, that's for sure. And you got a little, what's this? A gaming area? Yeah, gaming. Okay. Well, I don't think this place has movies. I'm pretty convinced. So, magazines though, if you want some magazines in 2021. Alright, well, let's get out of here. Alright guys, we're at Trade It. This became my main destination after I found out that the flea market I was going to is closed today due to an emergency. So let's hope this place has some stuff. We have some games right up front. Always check to see if there's any Nintendo original NES that I need. Even the common ones, because the NES is one of the few consoles, one of the only, that I want every single video game that was released for it. If I had more money, I would extend that to Genesis, but for now, it's just Nintendo, and believe it or not, got all those. Every single one. Rampart. Look for a copy of Comic Zone. $20. I don't think it's terrible. $20 ain't bad. There's some cool shit in this case. Got a couple Dreamcasts and Furbies. Fight stick at the bottom there. And a whole bunch of games. Street Fighter 2010 I have. Luckily I have over 400 original NES cards, so the ones... Oh my god. Oh boy. Looks like they got these pretty recently. Oh man. I mean, they're all going to be priced accordingly. But I need to look through this. Oh boy. Oh man. I'm going to look through this real quick, guys. Just give you guys an overview here. There's so many games that I had when I was a kid that I want right now. Even Barney, I know it sounds funny, but for $3 I might add it to the collection. This one I'm very nostalgic for. Let me take a closer look here, guys. Alright guys, so I grabbed a few out of there that I am considering. Oh, I didn't even notice it. Oh my god. No more down here. actually think I need Barbie. I'm not kidding. I actually need this. It's supposed to be a decent platformer, believe it or not. This is an old Atari there. Nylon Secret Castle. Pretty confident I have it on my list on me. I just gotta refer to it. Off-road. These super games here. Clue, Jurassic Park, and Pitfall Adventure. Okay. Oh boy. Alright, I think I need to grab this one too. I keep getting pulled over to that area. I got King of the Monsters 2, Steel Empire, great shooter. I have it. Boogerman back there, Streets of Rage, of course, one of my favorites. Red Zone, I wish that was a little cheaper, I'd buy it. It's priced about right, but then King's Bounty there, that's another one, the EA one I have to look up real quick. But yeah, some cool stuff in here. If I had expendable income, I'd buy it all. Well, not all of it, you know what I mean. Alright, so a lot of cool video game stuff, of which I didn't buy much of, well, only one of, to be quite honest. But now for the movies. So we're going to take a look here. They've got a ton of movies, not as much as usual. I think they've skimped down a little bit in terms of the crap that they had up on the shelves. There's still a lot of crap, don't get me wrong. But amidst the crap, there are some cool movies. So let's take a look. Like Animal Band. Animal Band. You guys know that one. Yep, so we have a few movies of note here. I pulled out Surviving Christmas. I'm not exactly sure why. Hunting Humans. This one I've heard of. I heard it's pretty disturbing. It's a serial killer movie, so those are usually disturbing. And this one, Creation, I wanted, but it was crunchy and ex-rental and not very good. Not very good looking, I should say. And this one here, Hollow Point. Again, it was pretty rough. I would have snagged it. It's some random early 90s crime thriller with Thomas Ian Griffith, but I ended up passing on it. A Different Loyalty, this one I had never heard of, but I ended up passing on this one too. Permanent Midnight, there's a Ben Stiller drama that I really want to see. I do have it in the collection. And then we have The Bad Pack here. It's a movie I do have in the collection. Roddy Piper, I want to say, is in it, and Robert Davi, if I'm not mistaken. Bat Masterson. I think it's an old TV show from the 50s or 60s. Yeah, and as you can see, a lot of the stickers, I've mentioned this before, a lot of the stickers are yellowing, and the more yellow and dirty looking they are, the older these movies, or the longer these movies have been sitting on the shelves. So the goal is really to look for bright white, brand new looking stickers, and I'll point that out in a moment, you'll see some of that. But still, amongst the crap, there were still some cool things. So it's always worth looking. You gotta stay diligent if you're a collector. On to the next shelf. So here's an example of a whole bunch of fresh-looking white stickers, you know, all lined up next to each other. And that tells me that these were put out pretty recently. Now, Deadly Hero. Here's a 70s film that does not look like a 70s film. It's obviously trying to rebrand it as like a modern film. But it's a 70s New York crime film. So I definitely ended up buying that one. And then they had a 9 film. They had a bunch of these multi-film things. This one was kind of cool, though, because of Extreme Prejudice. Extreme Prejudice is a Walter Hill film, Nick Nolte sort of actioner, crime actioner. That is hard to find, so I will be selling that one off. Hologram Man. I love Hologram Man. I did a whole riff review on it back in the day. Check it out. It's on the channel. But I think like 3 people have seen it. Hologram Man is a really fun 1995 low-budget P&M Entertainment action movie with some great over-the-top performances. Here's Rust. It seems to be some Christian movie of some kind, spiritual movie. Mazes and Monsters, Tom Hanks movie. I couldn't even watch more than 20 minutes of that movie. It was terrible, and just getting the completely wrong message across. Or at least it seemed to me. And here we have one of these weird Lifetime, or I don't even know. I forget what these are, but they sometimes fetch a few bucks, to be honest, so that's why I put it to the side. Incident on a Dark Street. This is some public domain movie with the Shat over there on the right, with the superimposed head. And on the back, he's nowhere to be seen. I would have picked it up if he was the lead, but he wasn't. And going up here, we have Bereft. I had a little bit of interest in this, but not much. It just doesn't seem like something I would enjoy much. Here we have Billy Blank's TP247 or something. It's some exercise DVD set, and Billy Blank's exercise DVD sets actually go for a bit. But that one, as you could see, was missing the disc. I believe I had checked that one on my last visit here, if you guys remember that. And moving along, I spot Japan and China, and I'm like, what is this? Lords of the Mafia, which was a show from 1999, narrated by Robert Stack, following a whole bunch of different crime syndicates all throughout the world. So I'm very interested in this. I've always have been since I was a boy. And this one covers the Triads and the Yakuza, so pretty cool. I'll have to watch that at some point. They're only 45-minute short little documentaries, but seems like something I'll enjoy. And then we're up at the top, tippity top here, Dogville. Lars von Trier, I think. That's one I should have picked up, to be honest. I'm not sure why I passed on it. And then this one here, The Snake Strikes Back. Look at this guy. It looks like a Mongolian, like, metal bassist. Alright, moving over here, we have some crusty Christmas movie. This one was kind of interesting. Bob Odenkirk film. I thought it was animated at first, but I don't think it is. It's a Bob Odenkirk directed movie, so I wanted to pick it up, but the disc was destroyed. Don't you hate that? This one was interesting. Moonshine and the Dixie Mafia. I didn't know there was such a thing. I mean, there's crime syndicates in every pocket of the world, every pocket of life, but this one ended up being really beat up as I'm fumbling it in front of the camera. This is a cool set. Serial Mom, Nurse Betty, Western 7 movie collection with Shadow on the Mesa, with Kevin Sorbo, Michael Dudikoff, Deadly Shooter, Boys of Abu Ghraib. Here's an interesting one, Camouflage. I have a feeling I picked this one up last time, and yeah, I can't even describe to you how destroyed this disc was. It was as scratched as you could possibly scratch a disc, and I'm not kidding. That's not hyperbole. It's incredible. It must have been purposeful. Or lost between, like, a couch leg and a cement floor. We have a whole bunch of crusty-looking stickers there, so that means they've been there for years upon years, probably. There's one next to that one called Tadpole. I should have looked at that. I don't know what that is. Probably was nothing, but you never know. Novo. This one had the look of something that I might be able to sell, and it didn't seem, I don't know, sort of like a sensual romance, hypersexual romance kind of thing. And moving along. Whip It Good. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, so there's not much here, as you could see. I haven't found anything. And then I find The Big Trail, which is really cool. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first John Wayne picture. First starring role for John Wayne. It's a Raoul Walsh film from 1930. Just on the brink of the talkies, right when they started. Kung Fu Rabbit. Yeah, I saw Kung Fu and I immediately picked it up, and then I saw Rabbit, and I was like, oh, it's a ripoff. Like a complete ripoff of Kung Fu Panda. Who knows? It might be okay. Guinevere, our stronger father. Guinevere is one that I had to check my list to see if I had, and I did end up having it. It's a King Arthur movie from the perspective of Guinevere. Good old-fashioned orgy. Some aughts comedy. Dragon on Fire. This one I had recognized, and I do have it in the collection, the exact same copy. I should have probably picked it up to sell. These are actually fetching, $10 to $15 nowadays, these really crappy public domain looking martial arts films. Really crappy in terms of quality, quality of the picture, not in terms of quality of the movie itself. There are a lot of diamonds in the rough in terms of kung fu movies from the 70s and 80s. 2 If by Sea, I had looked at that before. A lot of these I've looked at before here. Not Forgotten, not sure what the deal was with that one. And as you can see, a bunch of old stickers. These have been sitting up here forever. These are funny to see. They're like African productions. I'm not exactly sure where in Africa. Obviously, it's a gigantic place. So there's a bunch of these white-cased movies that I see that seem to be African produced, which is really interesting. They look crappy. And I'm not talking about, Captain Alex, Who Killed Captain Alex, those kind of movies. Here's a double feature with Crash Landing and a film called Nature Unleashed Fire. Weird. I don't know if that was a documentary or a disaster pick. Avenging Angel, more Kevin Sorbo Westerns. I was tempted to pick this up, but no, I don't need more of that kind of crap in the collection. I'll probably never watch something like that. Gangster Empire. I have enough Italian mafia documentaries in the collection, and I've seen enough of them. I'm always willing to learn more. There's so much to learn during Prohibition and gangsterdom of the 20th century and beyond. And moving along. Got a whole bunch of crappy looking movies. Japanese Story. Here's one that sparked my interest because of Toni Collette. I love her. I think she's fantastic. And I almost put it back, but then I was like, I'll take a look at it. And it ended up being destroyed, as per usual. It's the way she go. Soldiers of Change. No idea what this was, but it looked sappy and shitty. So I put it back on the shelf. Get back in there. And then we have Hanged Man. This one, there's just too many Westerns. I lose track. I just basically pick up random ones at this point. So if that was a good one, please let me know in the comments below. Get discussion resolved. And this, I have no idea what that was. I can't even read it. Plastic something. Going up to the next shizelf. We've got the Fifth Quarter. I don't know what that was. And I'm going pretty quick here. Sorry, guys. Getting a little impatient, I suppose. This one, Harry Tracy and the Wild Bunch. I picked up for a moment, and the last of the Wild Bunch. I do have that one in the collection. Letters from a Killer. This one I picked up, but I already had it in the collection. Patrick Swayze movie. Excuse me, that's not supposed to be very good. That one was kind of interesting. I should have probably took a closer look at that Western set there. We've got Bruce Lee Strikes Back. I don't know what that was. I think I thought it was Fights Back from the Grave, but I'm not sure if it was. It's probably just some crappy Bruce Lee movie. L-I, or Le. One of his many clones. And nothing really up on this top shelf. We got Seen It over there. Did you see it? Miracle at Sage Creek. This looks like a Native American Western. And I decided to skip some of the DVD shelves. I go back to them, don't worry, don't fret. And take a look at the Blu-rays, of which they had not many, and basically like 6 different movies, and pretty much all crap. Or things that I owned already. Coming down here, same kind of deal with the box sets. A lot of crusty, old-looking box sets. No Blu-rays or anything, just random shit. Look at how random. Ugh, so random. Howdy Doody, Justified, Mad Men, Civil War documentaries, First and 10, Season 1 and 2, Disc 1. Like, there's so much weird, random crap. Hauntings in America, Jamie Kennedy Experiment. And finally, I come across something that was of interest. Life as We Know It. This is an early noughts teen drama television show. It was the complete series, so I snagged it, and I will be selling it off. It doesn't seem like something I'd enjoy. I don't know what that was. Some Comedy Central show. So that one I ended up taking. Nothing else there. Coming over to the movies again, we've got Porky's 2 and Porky's Revenge. A little water damage, but I will be selling it off. I do not need all... I've got the first 2 Porky's. That one actually, that collection goes for like $20 or so. Andy Sedaris collection, always good to see, but it was really sun-drenched and water-damaged and destroyed and moldy and disgusting. That's one of the problems coming here. It's like Daniel Tosh, little comedy DVD there. I think he's pretty funny. Not great. I was going to say that's the problem with these places is the DVDs are just disgusting sometimes. Got to wash your hands after. Dead Man's Revenge, a 90s little Western here. So I always pick up 90s Westerns because a lot of them are hard to find now. Sort of a dead era for Westerns in a lot of ways. Alvarez Kelly. Pretty cool looking flick. I don't know much about this. William Holden's in it. It's a Western, so I snagged it. Sandy Aries, Goya's Ghosts. Don't know much about that. Flipping through. We've got Idaho, Roy Rogers. I'm not exactly sure why. In a second here, I pull that one back out and put it in the... I don't know. It's obviously public domain. All of Roy Rogers' stuff is. I don't think any of it is worth picking up to sell. And I'm not really, at this point in my life, too interested in Roy Rogers and the singing cowboy genre. It's just, I don't think it's my kind of thing right now. It's a little daft for my taste. No offense to anyone who enjoys it. Another dance DVD, dance exercise thing that was missing discs and whatnot. So I ended up passing on that. SWAT, The Real Story. This one's cool. Eyes of Fire with Ryder Strong on the back there and like some weird Charlie's Angel pose. It's being described on Letterboxd to, it's being compared to The Breakfast Club. I have no idea. It's from the year 2000, and that's kind of my era, so I snagged it. Deadline, Gene Autry right there, and then some bootleg of 5 random war pictures. White Fang, coming back here, I spot The Fifth Commandment and Red Belt. I do have The Fifth Commandment and Red Belt on DVD, I believe. Cube Zero I would have picked up if it wasn't destroyed. Picked it up to sell. I do have it. Of course. I have the Cube Trilogy, damn it. This one! So here's Oingo Boingo again for you. Richard Elfman directed Modern Vampires. And that's why I picked up that set. A pretty interesting looking set, to be honest. The Militia. This is a film directed by Jay Andrews, but it's not Jay Andrews. I discuss it further later. Blood Ties Season 2. This was kind of interesting. I probably should have snagged this for myself. It's like a vampire show from the 90s. I don't know. There were a few of those. Kindred, Forever Night. And then, of course, like Buffy and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's a decade of vampires. And there I just kind of turned a Chris Brown DVD toward the wall so nobody sees it. And we've got Saboteur here at the end. And it was pretty beat up in a rental copy. I would have picked it up to sell. But here we have Grease. I had no idea what that was, but it was some motorhead, not motorhead, but car thing. I don't know. And then we've got Ultramarines, a Warhammer 40k movie. Those are out of print. Fetch a little bit. I do have it on Blu-ray. Pretty fun Warhammer film if you're into that kind of thing. I don't know much about Warhammer, except for that movie. Here are a couple more of those African films that just look so bad. So bad. I have to pick one up one day just to experience what it's like. The Objective. Now, a lot of the ones that I put to the side here in this on this bookshelf were really beat up, so I didn't end up buying too many of them. I'll point out the ones that I did. Here's another rant, like Roy Rogers, public domain one. Blue Ice was, I would have probably picked that up. I think I already have it, but I'm not exactly sure if it's worth anything, but it was water damage and gross. Beyond Christmas, this one I would have picked up if it was in good shape, but it wasn't. This is like a 1940 Christmas film. Thought that was pretty cool. D-Day, I do have that one, that war film. And as you can see, a bunch of fresh-looking white stickers here. Never So Few, Go for Broke, and On Burma or something. I would have picked it up, but it was missing a disc. Damn it. Yeah, I had really bad luck on this bookshelf, as you'll see. But a lot of newer-looking things, new arrivals here, as you could see, so that's always good. And then this, I thought this was porn for a second. I had to take another look. It wasn't. And then we've got, going up to the next shelf here, Mr. Scarface. Bottoms up, sunshine. Love potion number 9. Any of my hip-hop heads can spot that lyric. Kudos. Our Xmas. This is an Abel Ferrara film with Ice-T. It's supposed to be really good. I like Abel Ferrara's work, and the more I watch of his work, the more I appreciate his New York style of directing. New York City style. Redemption. This is the story of the Crip founder, the guy that founded the Crips, Huey. No, I'm not even going to try what his name. Yeah, but either way, that Jamie Foxx stars in that movie where he plays the founder, the leader of the Crips, and it was destroyed. Children of a Lesser God wasn't worth fetching to sell because I already picked up a copy of that pretty recently. What the hell is this? Cesar Millan's People Training for Dogs? I don't even know. Going up here, we've got a film called Against All Odds, which was my late godmother's favorite film. And I'm savoring it for a special day to watch it because I do miss her. And Sam Kinison, Why Did We Laugh? This one was pretty beat up. I do already have Against All Odds, by the way. There was a Rock Hudson Doris Day film, I think. Bachata para el corazón, Dance for the Heart. Dancing for the Heart. La 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 la. Bachar means to dance, I think. Anyway, I'm rambling. It's Always Sunny. It's Always Sunny. I am trying to collect those. I love. That's like my favorite sitcom ever. A Wing and a Prayer I would have picked up too, but it was not in good condition. It's just one of those 1,000 movies that took place on airplanes in the 90s. Passenger 57, Air Force 51, Sweet Talker. That was an interesting one with Brian Brown, but it was destroyed. Turbulence. There's so many of these like Terror on a Plane movies. That was another one. Freezer Burn. This was a weird one. I ended up passing on this. It's some weird Tom Green movie. I had no idea he did any other movies besides Freddy Got Fingered, which I do enjoy as sort of an anti-movie, a non-movie, a non-comedy movie. It's a weird film, man. The Prize Fighter. This looks just bad, huh? Just bad. Sorry for my shoddy camera work here. Put the camera up to the movies, damn it. And we've got just more shit. Pure shit. So much shit on these shelves. Hard Night Falling. I would have picked this up, but it was destroyed. What do you know? What do you know? That's the problem with coming to a place like this. They do not care what... They just buy movies for 10 cents, call it a day. Don't care what they look like. This one was beat up too, unfortunately. Like the same exact movie. Crazy. 61 was one I was going to grab, and I ended up putting it in the pile, but it was like kind of ruined. It was a brand new copy, but it was cut. Something was cut out on the front. I think the price or something. And so I ended up passing on it. It is on Blu-ray, and I would love the film on Blu-ray. It's a great movie. As a tried and true Yankee fan, my entire life, I haven't cared over the last like 7 or 8 years ago, or so. But growing up, I was an avid Yankee fan. I used to go to games all the time, and went to the ticker tape parades and everything. But 61 is a great, great film. And we've got Busco novio para mi mujer. Find a boyfriend for my wife, please. Okay. We've got coming down here, Gator Boys. We've got the Gator Boys. They kill gators probably and stuff. Ended up passing on that. I picked it up to see if it was worth anything. Demetrius and the Gladiator was not worth anything either. I do have that one in the collection. All rolling on. We have an Austin Powers triple feature and the tried and true saleable Diary of Ellen Rimbauer, which I do have a perfect copy of. I find that all the time, and it always fetches a few bucks. It used to be worth like 20. I think it's down to like 10 or 15 now, to be honest, but that's the way she goes. OK Corral, Gunfight at OK Corral, Last Train from Gun Hill. In the Bedroom, Ripped Off, Bonneville. Yeah, that looks bad. Just so bad. Coming up here, we've got more, and more, and more. Warlords, the Generals. I ended up passing on this. It was kind of cool, though. I should have probably snagged it. And we've got Lambada. Lambada, I couldn't read the rest of it. Lambada is a dance, I believe. So it's like an exercise dance video or whatever. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. God, I love that movie. Race to Space. God, I don't know what that is. Sidney Lumet film. His last, I believe, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. Masterful. Masterful crime film. Heist crime film. And moving right along, we have a copy of Silverado. I ended up just checking to see if that was out of print, because I know the Blu-ray is really hard to find. Chevolution. Terrible name. Terrible name. It's a documentary about the photo that was taken of Che, which people started wearing on their chests, not knowing what the hell it meant. Guns at Batasi. Guns at Batasi. A cool-looking British war film from the 60s, starring Richard Attenborough. Laughter in black and white. Some stand-up comedian guy. I thought it was a Blu-ray. I figured I'd look it up to see if it was worth anything, but it was actually a DVD and a Blu-ray type of case, which is weird. Herod the Great. Public domain. It's going to be a crappy, crappy release. Brand New World, Cold Harvest, Broken Vessels, Married to Malcolm. I would have picked this up, but it was destroyed. Cold Harvest, what an underrated Isaac Florentine actioner from the 90s, man. Low budget, but fantastic action sequences and production design, to be honest. Post-apocalyptic. Sort of a post-apocalyptic Western action movie. And moving along, we have
the Matador bonus disc, if you've been looking for that. 14 Women, no idea what that was. I think it was some sort of documentary. And just more run-of-the-mill crap and just random stuff. This caught my eye. Night of the Werewolf. I should have probably picked this up. It's an interactive DVD, so you kind of choose your own path with your DVD remote, if I understand correctly, but it looks like it looks like Alone in the Dark, like an early survival horror game. I should have snagged this. It's such a weird piece.
All right, so not a crazy amount of luck at the Traded. We've got a couple stacks of movies, mostly for me to keep, a couple to sell, a couple vinyl to sell, and I ended up going home with one of the video games. I ended up going with Soldiers of Fortune for the Genesis because that's one that is 2 players. It's one that's supposed to be a great game. It's cheap, and I'm going to play it. So that's going to do it for the Traded, but I'm going to hit a couple more spots here out wherever the hell I am, Goldsboro, and see if we could find some more stuff. We are going to cross the street and check out New to You Consignment. They usually have a few movies, and we'll see what they have. I've gone to that pawn shop next door multiple times, and the guy has the same movies out there, overpriced, same box sets, all that shit. So we're going to see if this place has anything cool.
Alright, so this place, of course, had copyrighted music, and it was a tight spot, so there were a lot of workers around me and whatnot. Superfly. And I ended up picking up Superfly, actually, to, I think I start a pile here in a second, to sell. This was so cool to find! Look at this! Top Fighter 2, Deadly Fighting Dolls, Michelle Yeoh. This is sort of a documentary chronicling the great female martial artists of the past. There I put Superfly to the side. These ranged in price from 50 cents to $3, actually. This one was kind of an interesting set, but I ended up passing on it. One Last Score, that's not a film you see all the time. I probably should have looked that one up. I do have it in the collection, though. Yeah, I put that one in the maybe pile, but Slaughter! Holy crap, this was cool to find. Slaughter and its sequel in a double feature. Hell yeah. Playing with Fire, Blaxploitation. Anytime I could find Blaxploitation that I don't have, I have a lot of it. That is a good day. That is a success. Yeah, and so a lot of these were $3, and there's the little stack I went with there, and we had one last little area here, or so I thought. Relic and Willow. I ended up passing on Willow because it was loose in the case. It was brand new, and then Relic, which still fetches a few bucks. Blindness, I should have picked this one up. I remember enjoying this film. And over here we had some clearance movies. Game 6, Black Moon Rising. These all came to 75% off, so they were 75 cents. So I'm sorry, 75 cents to $3 the movies ranged. Black Moon Rising was like a weird all-region, I don't know if it was a bootleg or not. I just think it's like a public domain one or something. And here we have the Richard Wurmbrand story. I have no idea what that was. 75% off, as you can see. And I picked up this copy of The Verdict here, because I actually just sold one for like $11, so, you know, probably made $5, $6 profit. Pick another one up. The Agenda, this was some sort of political documentary. Passed on that. Coming over to here, we have Never Too Big. This one caught my interest. They had movies in a few different spots. Late 90s urban crime film. This was another one. Fire and Ice, this was fetching quite a bit, and I was going to pick it up for either the collection or to sell, but it was cracked on the inner ring. Always look out for that, guys, because always be careful pulling the discs off the spindles, and always making sure that that inner ring isn't cracked, because some people don't care, and some boxes are designed to destroy those inner rings, I swear. Coming down here, as I'm motionless, looking at the Blu-rays, these were in a really awkward spot, impossible to get to. So forgive the weird camera angles that get worse here in a second. Yep, there it is. Like, what is happening? Super up close and personal. Fiddler on the Roof. I passed on it.
All right, we're checking out Payday Music and Pawn. Let's hope they have some movies. All right, guys, so I couldn't film in there. It would have been very difficult for me to film with the copyrighted music and the people working there. But holy shit, I just found the mother load of Xbox 360 and PS3 games. Guess what? These were about half of them were $1 a piece, then the other half were $2 a pop. I ended up getting these all for like $70, and I asked for a discount. It came to like 75, and he brought me down to 70. So maybe the majority were $1.99. It says $2.99, but he says the ones that didn't say $1.99 he gave to me for $1.99. and the ones that said 99 gave to me for $1. So pretty cool. A lot of these I'm going to be selling. A few of them I'm going to be tucking into the collection, and yeah, pretty awesome. Sorry I couldn't get that on camera though. All right, checking out this USA thrift shop. I think this place is relatively new. Here's hoping they have some movies. All right, so they do have a bunch of movies here. And how much are your movies? They should have price on them? Yeah. Gotcha. Oh, perfect. Got it. Thank you so much. Tarzambo's set. I love this set. Used to have this. Toi. Kids. This one's still out of print. Bachelor party. And that one's not easy to find. Where's your stuff? Yeah, so they are kind of, some of them are priced a little bit higher. I'm gonna have to check these, because you never know with these music DVDs. Appleseed. I love to see these out and about. Love the Appleseed movies. They're not perfect, but I love them. Tension movie collection. Heck yeah. I think I have a few of those. But... The Man in the Iron Mask. Road Tag, Pat LeBoy the movie, Pat LeBoy the movie. Might be worth selling. Me Buffett and Mini Matinee.
In that area, whatever's cheaper. The second was cheaper.
The Street Fighter's Last Revenge. Rest in peace, Sonny Chiba.
I went in a 5-day
I have that one.
span.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me get that on Blu-ray. Monkey Bone. Love me some Monkey Bone.
I don't know, there's some interested people.
Caught up.
Did you tell them there's some more tiles behind them there in that throne?
She did. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Unfortunately, we haven't really categorized them or anything.
That's half the fun for me, so that's fine. Totally fine. I like just looking at random movies.
It's very random.
That's perfect. Perfect for me, at least. Prisoners of the Sun. It's gonna be bad. Got some interesting stuff, though. Some stuff you don't see every day. Mafia. I think her name's Pam Grier. Another Monkey Bone. I wish the DVDs were fetching a bit more. Blu-rays are really hard to find. Mickey. It Follows. Modern Marvels.
Nice channel, man. Good work.
Cool. Oh, thank you. I try.
Good edits.
Coming up here, a spot, a film called Mahogany. This is Diana Ross. It's one I definitely want. Even Raoul, it's a tough one to find. I think that's a tough one to find. I have a sealed copy. It's a pretty nice set. Check those apple seeds. I think that's gonna do it. Alright. Got some more movies over here. Pulse, Madeline Stowe. think I have that. I think I'm conflating it with another Madeline Stowe movie from the 90s. Heartbeat. Lyric. Nothing there. Take a look at that. Substitute 1 and 3. It's just so random. Alright, there are a couple here I want to see, but I gotta dismantle a bit. Former dictator held captive by his past. Oh, this sounds interesting. It's a documentary about a modern dictator. Yes, please. That's a weird one. I'll look that one up. Okay. And last but not least, Anita Renfro. Open your eyes. Ooh. Artisan. I'm not sure if that's out of release or out of print. I do have it. This became Vanilla Sky, I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna look these up. Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. Oh boy. Well, that's what I call slim pickings. Okay. VHS. We might as well look at the VHS. That looks like a whole bunch of nothing. Rough. All right, taking a look at the Goodwill after work. Let's see what they got. Let's see. I've been striking out here as of late, so let's hope they've got. Yeah, these Blu-rays have been here for a while. Crime Spree. Ooh, Cartel and Depardieu. Never even heard of this. Sure. Roscoe the Embalmer. Wait a second. What? Massacre Video. I feel like I've heard of this. What is this? Well, it's something I want. Is it horror? Is it a documentary? I feel like I've heard of it. New Kids on the Block. Coming Home. Oh man. You never know. Music DVDs could fetch a bit. I hope they have more things like this. Like, what the hell is this? Is it in there? Hey, there's a poster. I'm sure you guys know what that is. I have no clue what it is. Might be able to get something for that one sealed. I feel like I'm treading close to like some really cool horror stuff, but maybe it's already been picked up. Dawson's Creek complete series for $9. I'm not sure if that'll be worth picking up to sell. Gotta look it's nice and carefully right now because I don't want to miss any weird, obscure horror. I'm so baffled as to what that is. I know some of you guys are probably freaking out like, it's this, it's a classic. I don't know. Who knows? Looks gory. If it's a narrative film, it looks super gory and gross. Golf punks. What the fuck? 1999 one of these like weird platinum DVDs or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I like Tom Arnold. Especially 90s Tom Arnold. Behind. Oh, see what I did? Once you move one thing out of the way, it all falls down. Paradas continuas. Si ya te subiste, ya la hiciste. I don't know what this is. I'll look it up. Some 360 games here, or like Connect ones. You never know. We'll fetch a few. Joel Osteen, one of my least favorite humans on the planet. I've said that before. Tempted to look behind. I might take a look behind once I'm done recording. Damn, I was hoping they'd have more like weird looking stuff like that embalmer thing, the Roscoe. I'm gonna look behind and do one last look, but I'm gonna check out, see what I'm taking. Okay. Ooh, first thing I'm noticing is stakeout. Never see this one, and I don't have it. This is a boycott movie I've not seen. And they have another stakeout, but that one I have on blue. Bridal wave. Fun but not forgotten. Blue Diamond Phillips. I've never heard of this one. I know the director. And all this is pretty run-of-the-mill. Jagged edge. I do have this one. I don't think it's fetching anything. Private Eyes. New Margin. There's another early 90s, I want to say, or late 80s thriller. Yeah, 1990. Peter Hyams thriller. I don't think that's going for anything either. I'm gonna double check though. Boy Meets World season 1 through 3. And the rest of this looks like stuff I've seen. White Skull. Oh, do I have White Skull? Pretty sure I do. Ridley Scott. Alright, I think I'm gonna look these up and see what I'm taking. All right, first little stack here from the Big Lots. This is a Taiwanese horror film, as far as I understand it, by Tartan Asia Extreme. This one is one I thought I had in the collection, but I took a risk on it and I didn't have it in the collection, so now I do. Yay! Silk. It kind of reminds me of Cube, doesn't it? Kind of remind you of Cube, the cover? Primal Fear. I now have this on Blu-ray. I actually thought I had the DVD, but I didn't even have the DVD. This is a twisty-turny procedural legal thriller, but it's really good. I made it sound boring. But Richard Gere, Edward Norton, two actors at the top of their game at the time, especially Edward Norton. So good, so fantastic. And I ended up picking up I Love Lucy. I went a little over my $10 thrift threshold because I knew I had I Love Lucy on DVD that I'd be able to trade into the store for a few bucks. So I got I Love Lucy season 1 on Blu-ray for $5. I thought that was a good price, especially after I will be able to sell off my DVD copy. Next up, we've got a small stack from the Goodwills. Gone but Not Forgotten. I picked this up really for Lou Diamond Phillips and a decent cast. I don't know much about this. I know it's long, so it's a mini-series, and it's based on a book by Philip Margolin. So there you go. Gone but Not Forgotten. Crime Spree. I actually already had this in the collection, so I'm keeping the nicer of the two copies and getting rid of this one here. Crime Spree with Harvey Keitel and Gerard Depardieu. Stakeout. Finally, I have a copy of Stakeout. This is a buddy cop movie, pretty much the most popular buddy cop movie I've yet to see. So it's not the most popular buddy cop movie, but in terms of the ones I've yet to see, this is up there. Emilio Estevez, Richard Dreyfuss. This has a sequel called Another Stakeout with Rosie O'Donnell. This one is directed by John Badham. In fact, both are. So this is definitely one I want to check out. An 80s buddy cop action movie that I've yet to see. Is it 80s or is it 1990 on the dot? No, I think it's, yeah, late 80s, early 90s. The Terminal, I got this one off camera at the Goodwill. Not the best looking copy, it's an ex-rental, but I need to watch this because I'm rewatching a lot of Spielberg films as we speak, and hopefully going to do a video talking about his work soon. Golf Punks with Tom Arnold. This just looks like a crappy National Lampoon's late 90s. It's a bunch of kids. Interesting. It's not, I wonder what this is going to be. I like Tom Arnold, especially from this era. Tom Arnold, you know, mid to late 90s, he was kind of on top of his game in terms of comedy. So there you go. And I might as well get these out of the way. These are the PS3 and Xbox games that I am selling to fund, you know, all the stuff that I did buy and make a little bit of profit. Megamind actually fetches a bit. Far Cry 4, Rex, Agents of Providence. This one, I'm pretty confident is a reproduction artwork here, even though it's a pretty good reproduction artwork. When you look close, you could see it's a little blurry, and it doesn't have a bind title. Now, coming down here, Dead Space, probably the most expensive of all the games I got on the PS3 here. Now is the time to buy PS3 games and Xbox 360 games, folks. They're dirt cheap. I got these all for like $1 to $2. Dead Space, Diablo 3, Hellboy actually fetches a bit. It's supposed to be a shitty game put out by Konami, but it's fetching a bit, so I'm going to sell it off. Phantasy Star Universe, Lost Planet 2, Ferrari Challenge. I picked this up because it's sealed. I'll be able to get a few bucks for it. Ace Combat, Assault Horizon, and Lost Planet 3. Oh, and a couple more. Alien Isolation, Nostromo Edition, and Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. Jesus, that's a title. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3. There you go. These are the ones that I am selling off. As for the ones I'm keeping, we've got some 360 games here. Devil May Cry 4. I was surprised to find that I didn't have this in the collection. I've yet to play this, too, so this one looks a little crunchy. Yeah, it's got to replace the case. I think the artwork is intact. Yeah, I think so. Either way, Devil May Cry 4. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This is actually the Assassin's Creed game that I'm most interested in playing, to be honest, because it's like a pirate open world game, so there you go. BioShock 2. I just wanted this on the original console I played it on. I wish they had the original BioShock, but they didn't. This one is good, not as good as the original BioShock, because it's not made by the same people, not developed by the same people. The Darkness, I could have sworn I had on the PS3, but I didn't, so I'm glad to add this to the collection. This is how I originally played it on the 360. I remember renting this, actually, back when rental stores were a thing, as they were going out. And this one blew me away. It was one of the early story-driven first-person shooters that I played on the 360, and it really captured my imagination. It's got these crazy demon tendril-y things that you shoot after bad guys and they tear them apart. Very violent, based on a graphic novel called The Darkness that follows like a mafia hitman who makes a deal with the devil or whatever, and yeah, The Darkness. I now have this one and number 2 on PS3. I'm going to go through these kind of quick. Mass Effect 3. Unreal Tournament 3. I thought I had this, but I didn't. I love the old Unreal Tournament games. Heroes Over Europe. Looks like a pretty decent flight simulator. I've been learning a lot about World War II. So, Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition. I am happy to have this. I wish it wasn't the red case ones, but that's okay. Ultimate Edition. This has all of the added content. This is one of my favorite games ever here, guys. Murdered Soul Suspect. This is one I've always wanted to play, sort of a Sherlock Holmesian fantasy point-and-click adventure kind of game. Battlefield 4, Medal of Honor, just a bunch of the war first-person shooters that I do enjoy for the stories and the history. Assassin's Creed 3, Fallen Angel Sacred 2. This one looks kind of fun and super addictive. Yeah, it looks like a Diablo clone, kind of. Looks good. Doom 3, BFG Edition. This actually has the original Doom and Doom 2 games, ports of them. This I picked up for $1. Disc only, Rise of the Argonauts. It looks like a pretty fun game. For $1, I'll pick up the disc only. Same thing here. Dark Souls 2, I think this was $2, but Dark Souls 2, I just want to play the game, to be honest with you, so that's why I picked it up. Crysis 3, still haven't played any of the Crysis games. Lost Planet 2, I've only played the first one, but I loved it back in the day, Capcom game. And then they did 2 and 3, and I failed to play them. This is a game by the makers of the latest Civilization games. I know they did 6, Fire Axis. This is XCOM, Enemy Unknown, based on the old PC game from the 90s. Early to mid-90s, where aliens invade and you have to strategically take them out via a strategy, turn-based RPG kind of game. So, really excited to grab that for a couple bucks. Escape Dead Island. This seems to be like a point-and-click adventure kind of thing. Kind of a side story for Dead Island. Kind of cool. Game of the Year edition of Fallout 3. This game changed my life in a lot of ways, the original Fallout 3. I remember buying it from a dying Blockbuster for $3, and I was like, what is this? This is like an RPG. It's going to be super technical, not my kind of thing. And I went home, and oh my God, did I fall in love with Fallout 3. I was late to the party, but man, I was happy to arrive, let me tell you. And this one has all of the cool DLC, including Mothership Zeta, which is a great one where you get to explore like an alien craft that was downed and shoot up some aliens and get some of their cool weaponry. So really, really cool. I loved that when I first played this game. Red Faction Armageddon. I think I have all the Red Faction games now. I've only played the first one, and I love it. It was a big deal at the time because it had the Geo mod and you could destroy all of the environment about you. You could blow holes through walls and make shortcuts. It was pretty ahead of its time. I would imagine they continue with it. Borderlands Game of the Year edition and Borderlands 2. 2 titles I've yet to play. Like sort of open world RPG loot grinder kind of games. First person shooters. Definitely a couple that I want to give a shot at some point. Next we'll look at the traded stuff. So a lot of cool games this time around, guys. I'm really happy to beef up the PS3 collection. And I got a Genesis title in pretty good shape here for $10. This is supposed to be a really good game, a co-op action game. Single player or co-op action with really good Genesis music from what I've heard, and it just looks like it's a blast. It's also on the Super Nintendo, but everyone pretty much says that this is the best version to play. And the movies from the traded are Xmas. This is an Abel Ferrara film that I thought I had in the collection, but I knew I was going to give it a shot anyway, because I could always trade it in. But Artisan release, I did not have it in the collection. I am an Abel Ferrara fan. The more I watch of him, the more I appreciate his work, so as a New York director. So really love his movies. This one looks interesting. Guns at Batasi with Richard Attenborough. Wow. Mia Farrow. So this is going to be like a British war film from 1964, directed by John Guillermin, who I've definitely heard of. Militia! Dean Cain. This is one of those platinum release kind of things. One of my subscribers, I forget who it was, forgive me, but they had said that platinum was out of your home state or something like that, or home city, La Crosse, Wisconsin. So every time I see these platinum releases now, I think of you. And I've got another one here, Militia. Dean Cain. This is a J. Andrews film, but that's a trick because it's actually Jim Wynorski. He's a tricky bastard. Look at the cast he got. Dean Cain, Jennifer Beals, Frederick Forrest, Stacy Keach, Brett Butler. Brett Butler from like the Royals. It was a baseball player. Anyway, Militia. This is going to be a shitty 1999 action movie. This was a really cool one to find. Pretty much for modern vampires. This is a Casper Van Dien film from '98, directed by Richard Elfman, who did Forbidden Zone. Danny Elfman's brother. Danny Elfman and Richard Elfman were from Oingo Boingo, the band. Danny Elfman does a whole bunch of soundtrack scoring for movies, including Batman. Darktown. So that one's one I don't have. Godsend, I'm getting rid of my single issue one. Bruiser, I've got single issue and or single DVD one. And then Modern Vampires is the big one here for me. This is really why I picked this up. And yep, it's on this double feature disc here. So pretty cool. I don't know much about it, but it seems neat and actiony. Alvarez Kelly, starring William Holden and Richard Widmark. This one I don't know much about, but it's an old Western from 1966, it looks like, or 64, 66. Alvarez Kelly. Dead Man's Revenge, 90s Western. Lords of the Mafia. I love learning about the Mafia, all different types of mobs. This one follows the Triads and the Yakuza. So China and Japan. So very cool. It looks like 60 minutes each, and Robert Stack hosted it. So there you go. Unsolved Mysteries. Letters from a Killer. This one I already had, so I'll be getting rid of this. Big Trail, John Wayne. This is, I think, his first, one of the first big screen Western epics. Yeah, this is one of his first roles, if I'm not mistaken, or first leading roles, 1930. Yeah, this is even before, wow. It's even before Stagecoach, and yeah, this, I believe, is his first film, 1930, so I bought it for that reason. Hunting Humans. This seems like a serial killer type of movie from the early 2000s. I don't know much about it, but some people seem to like it, some people seem to hate it. I will add it to the horror collection. Deadly Hero. This one doesn't look like a 70s New York crime film, but it is. It's also known as Maniac Cop, apparently, and it has Danny DeVito, Treat Williams, Don Murray, James Earl Jones, Debbie Harry. Yeah, really good cast. It's going to be 70s. It looks atmospheric based on the screenshots on the back, so awesome. Eyes of Fire, starring... Where is he? He's not even on the cover. Ryder Strong from Boy Meets World. This is being compared to Breakfast Club. I don't know, guys. Late 90s, early 2000s, I think it is. Amy Snow directed and written. It's going to be crappy, but I like finding weird, obscure movies like this. The Snake Strikes Back. Look at this cover. Guys, this is a Godfrey Ho film. I knew I'd recognize the cover here, and it's a Godfrey Ho film that I am happy to add to the collection. This is going to be a doozy. This is apparently one that doesn't have a whole bunch of different movies spliced into one. So there you go. And this guy's definitely not from the 80s. Ultramarines, Warhammer 40K movie. I have this on Blu-ray. Pretty decent movie. And a little sci-fi action flick. And I'll be selling off the DVD. This one I bought to sell because of Extreme Prejudice. Fetches a few bucks. I already have it. Porky's 1, 2, and Porky's Revenge. This goes for about 20 bucks, mostly because of Porky's Revenge, and I think I'm going to sell it. I don't really need the third Porky's movie that much. Life as We Know It, the complete series. This, I don't even remember this coming out, but it fetches a few dollars, so there you go. Diary of Ellen Rimbauer, same thing, fetches a few bucks, so I bought it to sell it. Always fetches me at least $10, 10 to 15, depending on the time. And I got this one off camera at one of the thrift shops. This is a game I've actually been looking for, believe it or not. I saw it sitting there, and I was like, is that the first-person shooter one? And it is. This is an exclusive first-person shooter Men in Black game based on the animated series from 2001, and it's an FPS, console FPS, and I kind of collect those. Things like Disruptor, Men in Black, Power Slave. There are a bunch for the PS1 that kind of came and went at a time where first-person shooters were really still getting their legs. And this one looks fun, and I hope it is. I hope it's just a fun FPS with some cool levels and good graphics. The graphics look really stylized, pre-rendered backgrounds, really nice. So I hope this is decent. And then we have Pinochet's Last Stand. This is actually a narrative film following the Chilean dictator's final days, I suppose. I don't know much about the Chilean dictator Pinochet, but I know he was a criminal and did a lot of terrible things against humanity, crimes against humanity. And yeah, like most dictators. So Pinochet, Last Stand, or all dictators. I'll check this out at some point. Slaughter's Big Ripoff, the double feature. I was so happy to find this one. Pretty cool. I'm selling off my copy of Slaughter, and now I have the double feature with Jim Brown, Blaxploitation Classics here. Game 6 from 06, I think. This came out at a time where the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox had quite a rivalry going, and I think this is kind of what it's playing off of. It's all about some guy betting on a sports game, but some guy is Michael Keaton, and I love Michael Keaton, so there you go. Open Your Eyes. Oh, I'm kind of going a little out of order. That's okay. Open Your Eyes. This is Abre los Ojos. This is got turned into Vanilla Sky, Cameron Crowe's movie. This was originally an Alejandro Amenabar film, and yeah, I've yet to see this one, but I hear it's great. This one I bought to sell. It's fetching like 15, 20 bucks brand new, and I have all the movies in the set that I care to have. Top Fighter, this was really cool to find. Top Fighter 2, this is a documentary, I believe, and like a highlight reel of a lot of the greatest martial arts, female martial artists of all time. Angela Mao, Yukari Oshima, Michelle Yeoh, Cynthia Rothrock. I love all of them. Actually, I gotta be honest, I don't know who Yukari Oshima is. I gotta look into her. But Cynthia Rothrock, Angela Mao, Michelle Yeoh, all legends in the field of martial arts cinema, so I'm happy to have found this one. Never Too Big by Artisan. Ernie Hudson, Nia Long, Tony Todd, Donnie Wahlberg, and Shamar Moore. Really good cast. Looks like a late 90s hip-hop inspired crime thriller, so I'll give this a shot. Last Extinction, I got this off camera at the same shop, this little random thrift shop new to you. What Killed the Mammoths? This is an interesting topic that I actually know a little bit about, believe it or not. There was a little ice age about 12,000 years ago, and a bunch of our mega mammoths, what do they call them? Yeah, we'll just say giant mammals went extinct, and this will hopefully tell us why they think they went extinct. There are a few competing theories right now. Anyway, PBS, Nova, they always do good work. Anatomy of a Murder, picked this up to sell. Superfly, picked this up to sell. The Verdict, picked it up to sell. I gotta clean them up. They've got all the stickers all over them. Black Moon Rising, I see a black moon rising. I have this one. This is a Tommy Lee Jones picture. Looks cooler than it is, but it's a somewhat sci-fi film directed by Harry Cokeless and written by John Carpenter. That's right. Story and screenplay by John Carpenter. A stolen high-tech vehicle, and Tommy Lee Jones is supposed to track it down and find it. Pretty decent movie, not great though. Dirty Jobs, I got these off camera, 7 and 8 to sell, and then The Relic. Picked this up to sell, and the Willow was shaking around in the case, so I ended up passing on that one, and it was $3 anyway. Oh, and Orozco, I wanted to say, I lent it to my friend Danny. I ended up picking it up. It goes for an exorbitant amount of money. I think at least $100 for that DVD, and it's not one that I am interested in. I don't think I have the stomach for it. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm going to sell it to fund some other things that I really, really want in the collection. But it's a documentary following an embalmer, and by a director who was known for shooting, filming and taking photographs of dead bodies. So yeah, it's a very morbid sort of picture, but it has a lot of fans. But Danny enjoyed it, but I don't know if it's one I'm going to keep in the collection. So anyway, guys, we have a few more here. Mahogany. This came from that other America thrift shop. Diana Ross Mahogany. Modern Marvels Technology. I'm selling that one. I think this Cars one was a big one, guys. This fetches quite a bit of money, at least like $30-40 as from what it seemed to me. Bachelor Party out to sell. Pat Labor to sell, even though it's not going for much. I'll probably end up selling it to my store. Eating Raoul, and I had a sealed copy, so I'm keeping the used copy in my collection. And then Kids. So yeah, lots of movies and video games today, guys. That's going to do it for today's Thriftin'. Look at my hair. It's doing a thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more videos like it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the little bell for notifications. I'd love to know what you guys have picked up over the last couple days, couple weeks, whatever it might be. So feel free to leave that down in the comments below. We'll get a little discussion resolved. I also have a Patreon and t-shirts. Links are in the description below. Any support is much appreciated, guys. Anyway, guys, until next time, TheBoredCyborg is out. Look at the hair. Just kind of stays there. Ow.